everyone, it is Vlogmas day 22, so I'm going to light our candle as we always do. There we go. So today I thought I would do a list of the 21 books I hope to read in 2021. So some of these are ones that I've had on my list for a while. Some of them are by authors that I've always wanted to try and I haven't yet. Some are non-fiction, some are classics that I've meant to get around to. Some are suggestions that other people have made. Some have been on my TBR for a while. So I will go through them. So the first one is The Vanishing Half by Brit Bennett. I believe this is a story about two sisters, one who decides to live a life as a black woman and one who decides to live a life as a white woman. And that is about as much as I know about it. It was suggested to me on mytbr.co, which is a subscription service where they send me 3 suggestions every 3 months. And this was one of the ones they suggested for me. I've seen it mentioned a lot on BookTube. Sorry, I've got flashing off my glasses. I'll try and move a little bit. So yeah, I managed to get that in a Kindle deal, and it's been sat there on my Kindle, so it's definitely one I want to get around to. The next one is Hamlet by Maggie O'Farrell. I saw, what was her name? There's a girl on BookTube called Mercy. I can't remember her channel. I'll try and link it below if I remember it. And she described Hamlet by Maggie O'Farrell, and it really appealed to me. It basically said that Shakespeare had a son by that name, and I think he dies tragically when he's younger, and you know that before the story starts, but it's about that. And I am a fan of Shakespeare, so I want to give it a go, but it's another one that I managed to get on a Kindle deal, and it's been sat there for a while, so I need to get around to that one. Third is First to Die by James Patterson. I have read one James Patterson. I've read Guilty Wives for a book club a few years ago in a place that I worked. And gosh, that might be 5 or 6 years ago now. And I did enjoy that one. But this is believe this is a women's murder club. My sister's read the first 3 or 4, so I kind of want to catch up with her, and then we could buddy read them maybe once a month together. So yeah, I want to give that one a go. I believe Steph from Steph Loves and Siobhan, I'd been reading those together as well. I don't know where they're up to, but yeah, I've heard good things, so I want to give at least the first one a go. There's another series that I could end up starting, and I said I wouldn't. Number 4 on the list is Becoming by Michelle Obama. I've had a lot of people say that this isn't a political book, and it's just, I've heard that she's a wonderful woman. She does seem like a nice person, and I've just heard a lot of people really rave about this book, and I keep meaning to pick it up and I haven't got round to it. So this is going to be the year. I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to read it physically or whether I'm going to listen to her reading it. That seems like a good idea. So yeah, I want to get around to that. Next is Finding My Voice by Nadia Hussain. She was one of the winners of Bake Off one year, one of the actual years that I actually watched it, because I don't regularly watch that. And I know she struggles quite a lot with anxiety, and so she's done her own book, and I've got it on Audible. I picked it off Audible ages ago and I haven't got around to reading it. So it keeps putting me off because I've struggled with anxiety myself. I don't want it to trigger me, but she just seems like a really lovely person and really soft-spoken and gentle, and I think, oh, come on, just give it a go. And I listen to a lot of audiobooks to and from work on my commute, so I'm thinking that could be one that I could just start and do it that way. So yeah, definitely want to give that a go. Number 6 on the list is The Seven Sisters by Lucinda Riley. I mentioned that a while ago in one of my library book videos, but it's massive. It's like the chunky books, these Lucinda Riley ones. But I like the concept of the first book being about these seven sisters, and then every book after that is about a different sister. So I at least want to try the first one. Again, another series that I'm starting. The next two, 7 and 8, are classics that I've wanted to read for a while. I think I've read about 4 of Jane Austen, and there's 2 I haven't read yet. Sense and Sensibility and Northanger Abbey. I don't know how you say it, but I think I've got Northanger Abbey in the loft. I bought it. I think I bought it at the Jane Austen Museum in Bath. I think I went with my mum and a friend Jackie, and I remember buying it while I was there, and I haven't read it yet. So I've got those 2 that I definitely want to get round to. Then I can save them all. Number 9 is another classic, Animal Farm by George Orwell. I'm not ready to read 1984 yet, that Big Brother style book, but yeah, I've heard a lot about Animal Farm but never read it, so yeah, I want to give that one a go. I think Andy fancies that one as well, or was it 1984? Andy, was it 1984 or Animal Farm that you wanted to try? Oh, both. So we'll listen to that maybe together. We might do the audiobook. Number 10 on the list is Lessons I've Learned by Davina McCall. I love Davina McCall. I think she's done really well for herself. I know there was a period of time where she struggled with drugs. She just amazes me how good she looks for her age. She's a really healthy person. She does a lot of fitness type videos and things. She's just established a really great career for herself. I loved Big Brother, especially the early years, and I thought she was just a great presenter for that. And I know she had a lovely marriage, and then that broke up, and that was really sad. I know she was estranged from her mum, and sadly her sister died in the last few years. Um, I'm just a fan of hers, and I just really keep meaning to read this book. And I know once I've started it, I won't be able to put it down. But with biographies, with me, I put them off for ages, and then when I'm into them, I'm so into them. So yeah, I definitely want to read that this year because I keep taking it out from the library all the time and then taking it back. I'm like, come on, you really will love it. So yeah, that's number 10. Number 11 is Dear Wife by Kimberly Bell. I read The Marriage Lie by Kimberly Bell a couple of years ago and loved it. Then what was the second one she did? 3 Days Missing, was that Kimberly Bell? I think so. And love her books. So the next one that I want to read is Dear Wife. I don't know much about it, but I just know it's by her, and I've loved her other 2, so I want to give that a go. Number 12 is Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. I mentioned that I don't read much fantasy, and somebody on one of my booktube videos said give this one a go, it'll be a good start. So I've put it on my list. I hear a lot of people talking about Brandon Sanderson, particularly Cody from Cody's Book Corner. I know she's a fan. So I want to give at least one a go. I would love to branch into some fantasy. So yeah, that's on my list. Number 13 is The Foundling by Stacey Halls. My friend Claire from work has mentioned this one to me before. And others just keep getting in the way. So I thought if I add it to this list, I'm kind of trying to make myself accountable to actually read this book because I know I'll love it the way she's described it to me. Number 14, I want to read a Penny Joelson book. Nikki, who helped with my November TBR, Scrabble and Second Cousin, she mentioned these Penny Joelson books to me. They feature disability rep. In each of the books, the protagonist has a disability. So I think one of the children is blind in one of the books, one of the children is mute, and they solve crimes even though they've got these disabilities. And I love books that just the person just happens to have a disability. It's not a big deal, if you know what I mean. And so she described these books to me, and I've put them all on my list because I want to try at least one of them and see what I think. And if I love it, then I will read all of them. So yeah, definitely want to give a Penny Joelson book a go. Number 15 is Not a Penny More, Not a Penny Less by Jeffrey Archer. It doesn't necessarily have to be that one, but I know that's the first one in these standalone novels. My granddad was a massive fan of Jeffrey Archer. I know my uncle likes to read them, and I see them at the library all the time. I've heard that they're really good, so I want to give one a go, and so that's the one I'm going to try. Number 16, I had to put this on the list because it's been on 2 TBRs so far. Dodger by Terry Pratchett. I want to read a Terry Pratchett book. My uncle gave me this one to try, and I have had it for ages. It's on the list. I want to get through it. I just need to start it, and I know I'll enjoy it, but so it's on the list. Next is the Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang. Heard lots of people talk about this. I think it's got autism rep in it. It's about a girl who basically asks somebody to help her in relationships, how to go about a relationship. And so it just sounds really interesting. I've noticed that Spotify have some talking books on there, and the Kiss Quotient is one of them, and I've had it on Spotify for ages and I haven't listened to it, so I am going to do that at some point. That's another one I could listen to on the way to and from work, so I want to give that a go. Number 18 is Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery. I've had that on my TBR for ages. Loads of people have mentioned it recently, especially since the Netflix Anne with an E Netflix series came out. If I read it and enjoy it, I'll want to do the whole series, another series, and then I might give the Netflix show a go. Number 19, I want to read a Danielle Steel book. I have never read a Danielle Steel book, and they're really popular at the library. I'm always reshelving those books as they've been returned, and I just haven't read them. I would like to, over the next few years, read books of popular ones at the library, popular authors at the library that I've never read, because it is nice when people come in to be able to say, oh, I've read that one. I love doing that. And so if I read ones that are popular at the library, I'll at least have read one that I can say, oh yeah, I read this one recently. So yeah, I definitely want to read a Danielle Steel book. If you have a recommendation of which of those books you prefer, let me know, as long as it's a standalone. I don't know if she does any in series, but I would need it to be a standalone. But yeah, open to recommendations for Danielle Steel books because I haven't read any. Next is the same for Jeffrey Archer. If you've got a favourite Jeffrey Archer and it's a standalone, let me know, because I might swap it out for not a penny more, not a penny less, but again, it has to be a standalone. Number 20 is The Lady of the Rivers by Philippa Gregory. I love the Henry VIII period of time in history. I remember studying at school. I remember my mum getting me there was a special stamp collection of his 6 wives. I don't know what happened to them stamps. I'm gutted, but so I know quite a few of these books, like The Other Boleyn Girl, are set around that time. The first one in that series is The Lady of the Rivers, so I'm going to try that by Philippa Gregory, because that's another author who's really popular in the library. It's a historical fiction, which is what I want to branch out into, so I'm going to give that one a go. And then number 21 on the list is another Jasper Ford book. I read the Thursday Next series and the Nursery Crime series and loved them, and I've always said if people ask me who my favourite author is, he's been one of them, but I haven't read any more of his books. So I am going to read either The Constant Rabbit, Early Riser, or Shades of Grey, one of those standalone books. So I don't know which yet. Possibly I'm thinking The Constant Rabbit, because my friend Rachel in work said that's a really good one. That's in the sci-fi section at our library. So yeah, I want to do that. So they're my 21 in 21. Let me know what you think of the list, if you've read any of them, which you think I should start with. I've got all year to fit them in. And then when it gets to the end of 2021, I'll go through and see which ones I've managed to read. So yeah, I think, there's Kindle books that I'll be able to get through on the more non-fiction, some TBR vets, some of those books includes People of Colour, Disability Rep. There's plenty of classics in there, new authors that I want to try, that book on Spotify that I want to give a go, and then historical fiction. So I've got a lot covered there. I'm really proud of the list. I took a while putting it together, but there's quite a nice mixture on there. So I don't think there's going to be any that I think, oh, that's a drag because I've put too many of them on. It's quite a wide array of books. So that was Vlogmas 2021. Well, it's for 2021. Vlogmas Day 21. That's quite fitting, that, isn't it? Vlogmas Day 21. Oh no, it's 22. 22. Oh, I'm losing my mind. Vlogmas Day 22, and I will see you tomorrow for Vlogmas Day 23. Bye.